Hey everyone, this is Game 3 from the round of 16 from the Gamecom Open tournament. It is currently 2-0 for Dice. He has actually picked apart Doom in this series, and really Doom will have to do something very tricky at this point to come back in this series. It is a best of 5, so Dice is only one game away from actually winning this series. And in Close Spawn in Shattered Temple, it is loser's pick, so Doom did actually pick this map once again, and this is gonna be a game of chicken at this point because these two overlords are on top of each other's base, and it is just gonna be a taunt of who's gonna put his spawning pool down first. And so look for actually fast expansions from these two players. That is usually what happens in these chicken games, because no one wants to get their pool first, because the person who actually gets their pool first will be at a disadvantage. So we see a drone actually being sent to the expansion for these two players. So once again, it is just a huge game of chicken at this point. So Dice's expansion is slightly ahead. A small advantage there, I guess. Now he is getting his gas as well as Doom. So very exact builds, exact mirror builds from these two players. These two are actually going to throw down a spawning pool right after this. Dice is one harvester ahead though, so he did decide to get that. That's weird. He is actually one harvester ahead and has his spawning pool ever so slightly ahead too. So really, Dice just proves to show you that if you just smooth out your build ever so slightly, you will gain a tiny advantage. You can actually see 17 harvesters. I think that zDooMxRShift might actually be saving larva at this point. No, he is still using all his larva for his drones. So really, ever so the slightest advantage for Dice at this point. And really, it's just because of his smooth build. He has just been producing his drones on time, not waiting for anything. And really, you can see that his spawning pool is ever so slightly ahead. He is producing 2 queens, 1 per base, as that fast expansion does permit you to do. He is still mining gas with only a single drone getting ling speed, so everything is on its way for Dice. Meanwhile, Shift is actually not getting his 2 queens. He is getting a roach warren instead, so he will have roaches a bit before Dice. But I don't think that he will be able to attack here because he did go for a fast expand himself. So he is getting that roach warren just to be safe in case that Dice is actually going for speedling aggression. But I don't think he will. Both these players will try and saturate these 2 bases. And Dice actually producing 8 lings at this point. He is dead even in harvesters, but these lings will be able to apply a lot of pressure on zDooMxRShift, at least until these roaches come out. And 3 roaches in production from zDooMxRShift will be able to safely guard this expansion. They'll look for them to stay close to this ramp. Actually, now just moving, retransferring his drones over to his natural expansion, because he does see this baneling. He does see these lings coming forward and should suspect some banelings. These roaches, look, they have to get some perfect roach control at this point. He has to stay on this ramp, because if he gets a surround, if Dice actually gets a surround, that will spell disaster on these roaches. The drone's transferring back, and this is very dangerous from zDooMxRShift. If these banelings actually get behind and kill some drones, that will be a very fast GG. Now, more lings in production. You can actually see that the harvester count should favor zDooMxRShift at this point, because that is just so many lings. And a huge engagement here. These lings are going to try and get a surround. They do manage to surround everything. These banelings shooting, actually getting some nice hits on all the roaches and all the lings. And these roaches are just going to melt away. And banelings are actually decent against roaches if you manage to get them clumped up. These lings are going to start doing huge damage, and really, he will kill so many harvesters at this point. Look at that number just shoot up. 8 harvesters killed. These roaches are spawning and getting picked off as they spawn. The drones fighting with the roaches, but that is 18 harvesters killed. He is down to 9. And Dice has just been droning up behind this. Great control by Dice, managing to get a huge surround on all these roaches. Now gonna try and pick away one or two more drones. Does manage to get two more, even a third one almost dying. But that damage has been done. 20 harvesters killed. So 7 harvesters to 16, and really Doom has to do something with these roaches. But there is a spine crawler and a lot of lings there, along with the queen and all these drones. I mean, this is just not gonna work. I'm sorry, Dune, but Dice will be moving on into the final, the round of 8. Even roaches popping up at this point, catching more roaches off guard. 4 roaches at the top of the ramp, but GG, and Dice is our winner for this round of 16. So hopefully we'll be able to see his round of 8. So tune in for that, guys. I will be casting a lot more games, so look for them.